I lay awoken, just before the dawn of the day rose from its comfortable corners, my gaze fixed on the bedroom ceiling for what it felt like an eternity. My name is Alexander Conway, and I have a small problem. A tremendous paramount of a problem. You see, in just a very few short hours, I will have to get out of this bed and stare at the woman slumbering beside me. As she always does every single morning, she will yawn as loud as she can be, on purpose may I add. Normally, I would be asleep at that time, so she will place her corpse-like hands on my back with a grin on her visage. I, as intolerant as I am to the cold, I will bend my body in a number of ways, fighting back the shock to my system that my dear old wife loves to inflict on me. Usually, I will paint my face with this look of annoyance whenever she does that, and irritation, blabbering some sort of witty remarks. But if I'm brutally honest, in reality, I simply adore the fact that she keeps the childish nature instilled within her, even as old as she is. When the time comes, I will have to face my fear. The problem, really, when you think about it, is that in the 10 long years after I marry her, even to this very second, I still love her. And I'm not talking about the I love her as a buddy, as a friend, as a companion, the person that I lived with for such and such years, and she has become a nice person to be around with. No. I still desire her. I yearn for her. I still find myself fantasizing, dreaming even, about her when she's not even around. I envy my own past self because he will get to experience the emotional roller coaster that it was to get to know her, to date her, and eventually marry her. I truly love her, and that's a fact, but I never knew how to say it, how to verbally express my own thoughts and feelings to her. And don't get me wrong here, she knew all these things since the very beginning of our romance. She knew everything about me, really. My wants, my desires, my hopes and dreams, what I hated, what I love, what I cherish. What I'm trying to say is, she knew me, and I just wish I could let her know how grateful I am for her. That's the very reason why my eyes creep at the darkness of the room, why I can't seem to catch the sweet nectar of slumber. How lucky I am to ever have a wonderful woman like her. And where would I be if I would have never met her? Those two questions have been revolving around my head constantly, every night to be honest. And although they are easy to answer, I can't help it but to ponder about them. To me, she is the dim light beaming down the darkness of caverns. She is the lighthouse that guides the ships away from sinking to the bottom of the sea. She is my light, alright, and only second to one. She's everything in my life, apart from the little brat sleeping on the room next to ours. I will never love anyone as I love her, and I realize that as long as I keep her memories close to my heart, I will keep her close to me, always. The clock ticks, and time slowly flows. I now turn my gaze towards her side of the bed, my body slightly shifting to my side. I can't say that she ever slept like an angel. Her loud snores and random moans that render you awake were more than enough to scratch that idea out of your head. Yet, whenever I stared at the silver hair that comfortably rested on the whitened pillow, could easily make me wonder otherwise. Maybe she was an angel sent from above to bless me on behalf of my creator. But if that's the case, why? Why put me in this position? Why make me lay awake at night embracing the bedsheet covers? Her side of the bed is still warm, even though she was always cold to the touch. She's still cold. I guess I do know the answer to these questions, don't I? The rays of the rising sun began to slither in between the gaps of the window shades. My eyes remained closed, as a sudden change of the bed became abundant enough for me to notice. I felt her hand intertwine around my chest, embracing me. I can smell the lilac lavender coming from her silver hair as it landed on the side of my cheek. I can't help but to feel my heart as it began to race, fast as a jet breaking the sound barrier. I smiled, as I know this won't last for too long. Morning is just around the corner, and I know I'm going to have to wake up soon. Yes, I realize I have been sleeping this whole time. It's not my first time having this kind of dream, and God, I just wish it would have lasted longer. Tears began to well under my eyes as I smiled pleasantly at this whole ordeal. I love you, Ellie. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you in the end. I'm sorry I never got to.
Daddy!
An innocent voice suddenly roared. A sweet melody bellowed around the room as the wooden barrier that made the door suddenly slammed open.
Daddy, are you awake yet?
Silver locks of hair bounced with each step as the little girl made her way inside her parents' room. Hey kiddo, what are you doing here so early? I groaned, adjusting myself into a sitting position. I then extended my arms wide to act as a landing platform for the incoming rocket of love that headed my way. The little bundle of love launched herself into her father's arms. A wide grin on her face complemented her hazel eyes, along with the beauty mark that was under her lip. God, every day you look more and more like your mother, I said as a warm smile painted itself on me. You're growing so fast. She wrapped her arms around my neck, turning them into a strong lock. I then swung her from left to right to side in a playful manner, ultimately placing her to my side.
Dad?
Yes, Pumpkin?
Who were you talking to?
What do you mean?
Earlier, Daddy. Before I came in, you were saying, I'm sorry a lot.
Oh, it was nothing, kiddo. I was just dreaming. Rachel stared at her father, reaching deep within his eyes.
Who was in your dream?
Just someone I should have said thank you to a long time ago.